Would you kind of attribute this to the Fed? What do you make of the NASDAQ's weakness in particular, again, and the fact that it just kind of can't get its feet under it?
No, well, this has been since September 4th. The NASDAQ is experiencing about a 10% decline. There's a relaxation in the overconcentration towards growth and mega cap growth, and the NASDAQ is pushing towards its 50-day moving average. Clearly, I think it's being utilized as a source of funds. I think right now, Kelly, the markets are looking at the economic picture and the numbers that are being reported today. And if there is any form of discomfort as it relates to these economic figures, it can be quickly assuaged by policymakers in D.C. coming to the table and providing more fiscal stimulus. And I think markets up until the point of September really were not concerned about this absence of fiscal stimulus. They expected that you would get it. But now we're reaching a point knowing that the House potentially leaves on October 2nd, the Senate potentially leaves on October 9th. Markets want that fiscal stimulus. So any form of economic weakness, I think, it can be rectified quickly in the form of that fiscal stimulus.
That said, Joe, Mark Meadows did float this idea in an interview this morning that the president would support a $1.5 trillion stimulus package, which is a pretty big number. You might have thought that would take the edge out of futures, but they didn't have much reaction to it. What does that tell you?
Well, that's perception versus reality. And I think markets at this point have had several experiences of perception. They want the reality now of actual fiscal stimulus to be implemented. And when you have 40% of the S&P, which is categorized as growth stocks, under pressure as they have been since the early part of September, being utilized as a source of funds, you're going to need a very large catalyst. Understand, Kelly, we're just coming into earnings season. There's not very much can restart the momentum here for these NASDAQ growth stocks. And I think, by the way, that the momentum will restart. This is a pause that ultimately will refresh itself. But the market needs some form of catalyst. And clearly, the actual fiscal stimulus being agreed upon could be potentially that catalyst.
Yeah, that makes sense that they want it on, they want it signed, sealed, and delivered, basically.